the biggest talked about moment of the wedding, I would have to say, arguably.
Were your boys?
It was a big one.
It was a big one. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
That moment?
I didn't see it until I got home because we didn't have our phones with us.
So for those that didn't see it, which I don't know who you are, but look at
Look at this.
He just looked so overwhelmed
He said,
and excited.
I asked him, and he said he'd never heard a trumpet before.
Oh.
And I think when he walked in, I think he saw all the people there and the flowers. None of that was there during the rehearsal. And,
Look at the boys.
but can I just tell you that, as we talked about where Jess and I were sitting, so we really didn't see them till they got to the front of the church. There had been so much talk about getting it right and with the rehearsals, and these kids are so young that there was a lot of worry that it wouldn't get done right. But they're having so much fun with it.
Yeah.
And that, to me, was the thing that gave me the most pride, is that we didn't put so much pressure on them that this wasn't joyful for them.
Yeah.
And it was pretty darn joyful.
But the viewing party that I was at, everybody was watching your kids, and they were so happy to see that Canadian connection, and they just had so many smiles on their faces to see them. Like, even this picture here.
This they didn't expect. They didn't know that this was going to happen. And we told them, like, if someone waves at you, wave back.
Yeah.
Wave back, have fun. And you could see that they really leaned into that. And I'm so glad we gave them good haircuts before.
I noticed that. I noticed that.
My sister was on the long walk, and she said all you could see are these two little boys' faces pressed against the window, and it was so joyful in how they got out of the car, like he jumped like he was getting out of an SUV and just landed down. They were just so excited.
And what about Ivy, too?
Yeah.
She did
I saw her
such a great
chatting
She
on the
was
way to
talking
the
about,
church.
she made very good friends with the other flower girls, bridesmaids.
I loved watching them hold hands, and you could see them kind of wiggling back and forth. Like you said, they were having a good
Okay,
time.
Yeah.
this was a really cool moment, Ben. We all wondered how. I mean, you've got a 2-year-old in that group, right?
Zaylee,
So
I want to start a
we
fan
all
club for
wondered
her.
how this was going to happen, and such a brilliant idea to have all the moms walk the kids
Oh,
up.
and Jess looked
That's great.
stunning.
Yeah.
Can we
Did.
just talk
Oh my
about your
gosh.
wife for a
Yeah,
second? She just was grace and poise. And
Montreal
that dress.
designer.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Thank you. And what a beautiful day for it as well. But yes, the kids had a chance to get to know each other a little bit during these rehearsals and some get-togethers as well. So they did sort of come together in a little bit of a club before this happened. And Jasper, who was the tallest of those page boys, who, by the way, I think is 6, and taller than everybody else, he told his dad after it was done, he said, "I really like those Canadian boys very much."
So are they becoming besties now?
But yeah, I think so. And this was a picture that I was downstairs at the time, but I'm very glad that they.
This is John on the right, correct?
John is on the right
Ivy.
and Brian's on the left.
Oh, and I just love that, like we were remarking on Friday, how crazy it was to think that your boys were hanging out with kids a child, George, who will be the King of England one day. Like, that's so weird.
Well, we
to
were
say.
saying that they will be. So we went to interview India Hicks, who was a bridesmaid in Diana's, and at some point somebody's going to be like, years down the road, oh, we've got Ivy Mulroney. She was a flower girl at, Harry and Meghan's wedding.
Wow.
We celebrate the pomp and the circumstance at those events. We really do, and we lean into it. We love it, and we see all the trappings of the royal family. But at the heart of it, when you're in it, you realize that it really is just a wedding between two people and who wanted to have family and friends as close as possible. And you see the smiles on the faces of everyone there. And yes, it's a prince or a duke and now a duchess, but it was two people at their wedding. And if you can stay in that moment, you appreciate it for the very intimate thing that it was. When you take yourself out of it.
I don't know if I could do that. I mean, you're sitting across from the Queen.
Yeah, you take yourself out of it and you say, okay, well, this is a little bit different. But really, there were so many similarities between that event and so many of the beautiful weddings we've all attended.
Yeah.
And how much bribery was there involved with the children? Like, were you having to get
hinted at
chocolate?
some-
Oh,
and
so
I mean,
very
Don't
much.
act up. Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me.
Well, what we did months and months of bribery and mild threatening, but then in the days leading up, we changed our tune to a more Oprah-themed empowerment.
There you go.
You can do this.
That's right.
You can do this, and they did.
They look
They
like
were
they have
amazing.
fun.
So good.